fantastic for the girls to be able to come here and celebrate, but we don't. Yeah, I'd like to think we are not over celebrating and being, rubbing it in other people's noses because.
Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon. What a game today! Obviously, we'll be looking back at today's game and our 3-1 win against United. So.
Oh no, got a dodgy chair.
Do you want to start?
I'll just sit up. I'll be all right. Okay, now I'm fine.
We'll start with questions.
Gareth, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you feel like that result was big in terms of getting the title finally back on track?
Yeah, of course. I think that we've spoken a lot this week about what we wanted to achieve, and we've not hid away from that at all. I think the players have been really honest. I think that we take perspective on where we're at, and sometimes it was so difficult when you lose 2 games where we performed really well and created a lot of chances to be first one week, and then within like 8 days we were down to 6, and the contrast is really huge in the WSL, and it's so difficult. So we knew tonight was important. I think if we hadn't won, nothing would have changed in the way we work and in terms of the bigger picture, and that's hard sometimes, and you get knocks and you get bumps along the way. But I think this group of players, and I've always had knocks in my career, so it's kind of like something that I've got used to, that we are resilient and we will stick to what we believe in doing. And I think the players have been incredible this week, and even there after the game, so humble, excited obviously, but so humble and happy that we've set out to do what we wanted to do this week. And I think that was just to give, the minimum was to give energy, body language, positive body language, loads of positivity. Putting United under pressure was really important for us early on, and I thought we started the game really well.
Do you feel like you showed your superiority throughout as well, even when you went down to 10 players? It still felt like you were comfortable getting next to Norwich?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, unfortunately, we've had this situation a few times this season, which is not one we want to coach all of the time and have to be put into. But I think that I have to say, again, the players adapted really well. They get the instruction from me on the sideline. We put Steph in there, who's obviously got really good experience and a calming influence. But I thought all of the players who entered the pitch were fantastic, and the players that left the pitch were great as well. They gave us a lot today in that energy and desire to get the 3 points. And we took, obviously, a knock with the penalty. After really, at the start, we looked like we were really at it here. We could have been 1 or 2 ahead. We then really fought back well, showed good character, and also probably scored the 2 harder chances. I thought we had 2 easier ones, if I'm honest. So, again, there's still things we need to work on because we create so many opportunities with that high pressure at the top of the pitch and the quality that some of our players have, like Jill and Chloe and Lauren. So, to come in at half-time, it was obviously just constant reminders that, we need to stay on the front foot. And I felt we did that and we're fairly comfortable up until the red card, where it's probably 15, 20 minutes of overthinking what we need to do.
Congratulations. How much did you need that?
Well, I think it's big. I wouldn't, I'm always kind of philosophical about performances, results, and I just think that what will be will be. If we didn't win tonight, then I'm not going to go home and not come out of my pit for 24 hours. You'd be disappointed, obviously, because results and trophies, they just kind of validate what you do. It goes beyond that, I think, a little bit for our coaches, and the coaches that I've spoken to have been really similar. It's the process, and everybody talks about what's the process, and it's never ending. It's never ending. It's about helping players, helping individuals, and I've been fortunate enough in my coaching career to have been able to do that in the academy with the boys and still have really good communication with some guys who are playing at the Premier League. And that's what it's all about for me as a coach. So it wouldn't have been shut the doors and put the bridge up and isolate yourself. But it's obviously a nice feeling because it really gives confidence to the team that we can do it this season.
Can I ask you about the game being here, and maybe if we see an extra level of this kind of derby? We saw Chloe Kelly come here at the away fans, and then the home fans, and we saw some United fans booing Bunny, and then obviously your celebrations at the end. Did it feel like it was a another level of like derby rivalry?
Yeah, it feels different. Yeah, there's no doubt. I've said it this week. It's my first time as a coach here. I've been here as a player a few times, and if everything feels different, everything feels grander than Lee Sports Village or our Joy Stadium. Compared to the Etihad, of course, it's so different. And I just think that, hopefully the supporters who came here today, obviously Man United ones will be a little bit fed up, but hopefully they've seen a really good spectacle and players going at it toe to toe, giving 100%, scoring some quality goals, excitement, and to have it, available for young people to be able to watch and to be able to attend, I think is fantastic.
Hi, Gareth. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
How important was it to get it that kind of win here, particularly after the two losses, and also for like the celebration that Lauren Henk had with the fist pump and straight, knee slided towards the Alex Ferguson stand as well?
Yeah. Well, I won't go over old ground about how it feels and how important it is in the in the state of play. But yeah, of course, fantastic for the girls to be able to come here and celebrate. But we don't. I'd like to think we are not over celebrating and being rubbing it in other people's noses, because we are a respectful team. We respect when we win. We respect when we lose, and I think having that is a good balance, because it's so high, the emotions in football. It's, if you win, everything's amazing. If you lose, it can feel like it's a disaster, and that's not the case. I think it's just trying to get that balance of, we're still working towards it, whether we win, whether we lose. It's just another step on our journey.
Congratulations, Gareth.
Thank you.
Just a quick one from me. From the coach's perspective, do you have any words on the growth of the women's game, especially from being a manager yourself?
Yeah, my journey is quite interesting, because obviously I started 3 years ago in COVID times, which was obviously a bit of a false reading, but I've just seen big step changes season on season. I was fortunate enough to go out to Australia to see the World Cup. I was here for England-Austria in the Euros and various games. I just think it's amazing where it's going to. I don't think it's finished for sure. It's come really quickly over a small space of time, and some people are a little bit impatient with that, and they have to understand that it's like building a house. If you build it on sand, it's not going to last. So I think it needs to be sustainable and make sure that it's realistic in its aims, without going, it needs to be here right now. I get asked a lot about money for the FA Cup compared to the men's, and it's like, well, I don't think we should compare to the men's at all. What we're doing is developing and trying to help young girls to have the opportunity to do what they love, and probably for the last 10 years that hasn't been the case. So it's got a long way to go, and that's an exciting journey, I think.
I just wanted to ask you about your role, because I think maybe that eyebrows raised, but it caught the attention. The reported be around what the club paper and some of the big signings, and she's kind of come in and just delivered. I mean, that's what you want from a player like that kind of experience and quality to step up on a stage like this and get you back in the game, right?
Yeah. I mean, she's top player, Jill. There's no doubt about that. I think, she was really keen on joining us because of what we do and what we're trying to do. And she was excited by the project. So, yeah, to have her, I think, is a big confidence booster for a lot of the other players around her, for certain. And, she knows in this team she'll get chances. I thought she was good tonight. The goal was really good. I felt like some of the bits of movements that she made to allow like the ball across her body or decision making, more often than not, was very, very good. And that's what big players do. They step up on the big occasion.
Gareth, at full time when the whistle went, you turned behind you and fist pumped to somebody in the stands. Who were you celebrating towards?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I know a lot of our party from the club are there, and there's staff members who likes of Jamie Cheeseman, who's now working with our men's first team, but has spent a long time with us building what we're trying to build. So I knew he was here tonight, and there were some family friends of my own here. So I think it was great, and the supporters were fantastic tonight. I think the first thing we wanted to do was be over with our supporters celebrating, because we really heard them tonight.
Yes, me.
Were you up there, Chidi?
I was there.
It was Chidi, yeah.
Gareth, we do maybe sometimes associate your teams with kind of like backs against the walls a little bit. United are so good at scoring late goals. I don't think any of the teams score as many late goals as them.
defenders and Kiara kind of celebrated all of each other at the end of the final. Just kind of how impressed you with the defensive display in that final.
Yeah, I've seen that this season. I've seen like a steely determination to go, right, okay, well, backs are against the wall here. We're going to see it out. And I think our goals against record from where it was last season to now after 7 games has improved so much. And that's like the work we put in on the training ground. But it's also an attitude and an application to it. And obviously Kiara's done great in that space because she manages the game so well for someone so young. But of course, I've always said defending starts from the front, and most of the time we are able to get the ball back in high pressure situations against United's back four. But when they do get through, we're probably not the City of old where we probably feel that we could be up against it here now. We're still obviously going to suffer if you're constantly knocking on the door. And United do put good quality into the box. Ellen puts good corners in. Toon, they play quite direct in that space, and sometimes it's not necessarily the first pass that would do you, but it'd be like the knockdown from one of our headers that they get around. But yeah, the players were great. And when that happens, I think especially when they know they've had to really roll their sleeves up tonight, when Laya is lost, then yeah, fantastic. I think it was really good.
Can I ask how good to have Alex Green with that?
Yeah, of course. I think it's easy just to put it on that, 2 games we lost that she was missing for. But yeah, you can. Her experience and her know-how and her determination and her grit. She made really good decisions at the right time, Alex. And and I think to do that as well after a few training sessions as well, because we've been quite limited on what we can do with her. And unfortunately, the other day, one of the first training sessions she came back, she took a big gash on her leg and a challenge. So she's been in the wars, but absolutely her experience and her quality and her determination that she showed tonight was top class.
How will you celebrate tonight?
You'll be really surprised. I'm a very boring person. I'll go home. My phone, I'll probably take a while to get back on all the text messages of well wishes. But yeah, it'll just be, you'll be surprised. I'll probably be nodding off at about 9:30. It takes a lot out of you.
A bit more buzzing than you sound. I don't mean that you just. On your picture, obviously, we saw your celebrations, and you don't sound maybe like you're over the moon. But is that more a sign of maybe like there's more work to do? Or?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And again, probably large parts of what I've spoken about to you guys is keeping it. I've always said that, and all the best coaches always use this term as well, that success and failure should be kept at equal distance. Don't get too carried away with the highs, don't get too low on the lows. It's never as bad as what you think. And if you believe in what you do on a daily basis, then, but of course you have to celebrate when you win, but we're respectful in what we do. And tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow my head's gone Leicester Wednesday night, and that's it. And it's the next game, and it's recognising what we've done really well and making sure the players are aware of that. But yeah, it's quickly moving on to the next game.